man, in class today, freshman inquiry, that was some fun stuff. You know, Miss Dr. Tusher and Miss Veronica here,
they're pretty awesome.
They're pretty awesome, aren't they?
They're just fantastic.
I like them.
What's like that movie assignment or whatever that they gave us today?
I don't know.
You guys don't? I know what it is.
What
I
is
have it right here in front of me. We have to come up with 4 big questions. Each of us do, and we have to give 4 interviews, people outside of class, and ask them about those questions.
Like about our books?
Yeah, about our books. Right, correct.
So what should like our questions be?
I don't know.
What if I asked them if they read the book Collapse?
No.
Nobody's read that book.
Nobody's read that book.
I wonder if anyone knows about our landfills.
Everybody throws stuff in the land.
Yeah.
Ooh, but Collapse does talk about the collapse of societies. So maybe I'll ask them if like they think the U.S. society could collapse.
I mean, anything's possible. I don't think it's gonna happen. Not anytime soon, anyway. But it's possible.
Yes. Money. I think money's big. Our financial state. People not being happy. The poor getting poorer and rich getting richer. And you know, that's about it.
Yeah, I think we could probably collapse into a recession pretty soon here, if we have another stock market crash like we had a couple of years ago.
No. Well, I think the United States are pretty solid, all around, and collapsation is not very possible at this time.
Well, anything's possible. Look at Rome or Britain or like the Middle East right now. You know, anything's possible, so never say never. And what would cause it? I don't know, I'm not that smart. True story, I don't know. It could be a crazy politician. It could be a homeless man on the street. It could be somebody blows up all of the banks. I have no idea.
Doesn't your book have like a weird title or something?
Yeah, I think it had like 2 A's. Should I ask them why do you think this book has 2 A's? No. They wouldn't know. They may not even recognize it if they look at it. I had another idea.
What is it?
I wrote it down. I said, is it possible for life on Earth to cease to exist?
That's a good one.
And maybe I can like ask how, like, what the reason for extinction might be. You know, like if it's pollution, people's decisions, or climate change, maybe they could.
I bet people could come up with some answers toward that one.
Yeah.
That's
good.
No, because not until pretty much we hit the sun can our world actually collapse. Unless, I mean, like, we could destroy everything. We could probably all die. But we could kill out our species, but the world itself can't really collapse. Things will keep living no matter what, like with climate change and everything. There are still species that will survive. There will still be things that will adapt, and things will keep going. It'll just, everything will be thrown out of whack, and all the processes will be really different, and the world might be different than we see it, but things are still changing and adapting, and there'll always be stuff here.
It's probably mostly people. I mean, I think the result might be a climate change, but I think it's possibly the people who would generate that.
I wouldn't say collapse, but I think
not necessarily collapse,
huge
but
changes in the air. I think with everything that's going on in the Middle East right now, I think, you know, that's the start of change and how people are, and I think the internet has a lot to do with that. And you know, as much as Facebook is ridiculous, it's also opened a lot of people's minds over in other countries that haven't been exposed to the same things that we are exposed to every day, and freedom and choice and everything. So I think that's.
So would you direct that towards people's decisions rather than climate change, or?
Yeah, people's
Okay.
decisions.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's pretty decent research out there about the ozone layer and climate change. So, I mean, I don't know if it would be in our lifetimes, but I think the the planet or our ecosystem could definitely be destroyed the way we know it now. People's decisions affect climate change for sure, but I think climate change is a real deal. So again, I don't know really what the research says about the time frame, but I think that we could really affect the way our ecosystem works. Yeah.
Yes, I do. I think that's entirely possible. I think it has to do with the combination of the two, people's decisions based on the effects of the climate, drastic climate changes, along with what the people decide to do with those changes, can affect the world in drastic ways.
Sure, a meteor could come, wipe us out. Done. I don't know.
But what book do you want to do?
Well, I read Cradle to Cradle, and it's about recycling. So I was thinking maybe I'll ask, like, what would you do if you weren't taught how to recycle? What was your natural instinct be to do with your waste?
Ooh. Natural instinct?
Yeah, like, what would you do if you didn't know what to do with everything? Would you just throw it all away?
Like on the ground, or like?
Yeah, like
I
our
don't even know
landfills
what I
are
would
just.
I don't know what I would do.
I wonder what people around the Stott would do.
No trash on the ground. I don't know. People going wild in the streets. They going hectic. I don't know.
I would most likely throw a lot of it away.
Yeah.
But perhaps maybe some of the glass jars that could be could hold stuff. Like in a pantry, I would maybe keep some of that.
It's funny because my assistant and I talk about it all the time because her family doesn't recycle and she doesn't understand it. And I grew up recycling because I grew up in Boulder and we're green and love peace and earth and everything. And so it's hard for me to say what I would do, but I think there's a lot of people who just throw things away and don't even think about the environment and how it affects everybody. And so it's hard for me to answer that question.
Probably to use less, try to create less trash. I think if I didn't know to recycle, I would try to just create less trash or feel like I should probably, have a smaller footprint than just sort of, creating a lot of garbage.
Just throw it outside on the ground. Just throw it anywhere I see. We would have to probably just burn it off or throw it in the ocean. Something like that. Either one of the two seems fine to me.
I would build a house. Yes. For the homeless people. Or myself. And then I wouldn't have to pay rent. Wouldn't that be amazing? No, I really don't know what I would do. Well, I think that countries that are civilized, like, the US and Europe and places like that, we've become lazy in our ways. But if you go to third world countries where they don't have as plastic and other items as readily available, that those countries do a better job of being sustainable within their own culture. So if you look at places in like Africa and Southeast Asia where they don't have the resources available, they do a better job of their natural resources.
So isn't your book all about ice or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
So what would you ask?
Well, maybe since all this ice is melting, do you think I should ask, is it because it's melting from ecological use or tourism?
No. I don't know if people know what that means.
No, I don't even know what that means. So think of something else.
Maybe because of our ice glaciers melting, where do you think all this ice will go to?
Like what happened to all the water after it melts?
Yeah.
I don't know if it can rush in over the continent, but it definitely seems like there's information out there that shows that like water levels are rising, so that our coastline will sort of become smaller and smaller. So I suppose it could rush in and kind of affect, what the coastal areas are like and take away some land mass that we have. Yeah.
I suppose it has the possibility of covering a lot of land.
Maybe, potentially. I believe in global warming. I think that, we're not taking care of our environment and bad things are going to happen. And, look at this, just different things that have happened over the last couple of years that are to the extreme, whether it be hot or cold. People think of global warming as something that's always warm, but it also has to do with extreme colds and temperatures. So it's possible.
I don't know very much about the subject, but I can guess that yes, if enough water does flow inward towards our land, it will overflow and eventually decapitalize our environment.
It's called evaporation.
Okay.
And streams and soil and deserts and things that soak it up. So no.
So, yeah, I bet the people in the Stott would have some pretty interesting ideas to answer our questions.
Yeah, I thought all those questions were, you know, legit enough for Tusher.
I think you'd like them.
It'd be interesting to see the different viewpoints from people who are like students and the athletes and the difference between older people and younger people.
Coaches and trainers and everyone.
It'd be interesting to see like how their experiences in the world like shape the answers that they have.
Yeah, and what they've already experienced and what they've been taught.
And what they think will happen in the future.
Right?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I think it sounds like a plan. I think we got some A+
We have-
material on our hands right now.
I think, yeah, oops, sorry. Sorry. It's that new smoothie I tried this morning. But I think we have some time right now to bust out some interviews.
Let's do this.
Let's get it done.
Let's do it.
Alright.
Well, who wants to go first?
I will.
I go last.
Okay.